This week, I want you to answer me this. What if success is costing you the thing you say matters most? What if the life that you're building for your family is the very thing pulling you away from them? What if one day you get everything you ever wanted and you realise it cost you everything you actually needed? What if one day the thing you chased for so long, but it was taken away? And then when you looked back at the effort expended, well, it cost you more than you made. And it drove a wedge between you and what truly mattered. Welcome back. This is Answer Me This, part of the Fatherhood in Focus podcast. I'm Aidan, dad, host, and founder of the Modern Fatherhood Club. Every week, I'm going to ask you one uncomfortable question, not to shame you, but to sharpen you. This is about legacy, impact, and the man that your kids actually see when you walk into the room. Because the world, well, it's happy for you to just cope. We're here to help you choose how you show up, how you lead, and how you love. Before we dive in, if you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast, and if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe there too. And why not grab one of our free resources at themodernfatherhoodclub.com. They're built to support you from those early, messy days right through to the years when they're shouting at you from across the room. All right, take a breath. This week's question is going to test you. Let's get into it. Okay, let's be clear. This is about being clear on what really matters and why. Because our pursuit of success doesn't destroy us. Success distracts us. And by the time we realise it, well, the people we love have been living with the consequences. In 2020, I needed clarity. I spent so long chasing something that I'd lost sight of what really mattered. I'd lost moments that made a difference. I lost moments that I'll never get back. I finished university and that was it. I had something to chase down. I wasn't entirely clear on my direction of travel. See, I'd left uni unclear of my path. I got an okay result, but the outcome I wanted before I went to university, well, it didn't feel right anymore. And when you get out of university, well, you've got to get that first job. And I had one goal, earn more. And the more I earned, well, life would become better. That first 24 months, I doubled my salary. To be frank, I'd landed in a job, one with opportunities, one that promoted from within, and well, I chased that target down. Did that salary set the world alight? No. Did it cover my expenses and student loans? Barely. But then it happened. The 2008 market collapse. And the company I'd invested my first 24 months in, well, it was on the verge of collapse. And I had no other option at the time. Find a new job, follow the work, and that's what I did. A new start. A fresh opportunity, an opportunity to become an expert in my niche. And I played it perfectly. I moved to South London and I was promoted again within 24 months. And my salary was increasing year on year. Fast forward 12 months and I needed a bigger challenge. So I moved again. New job, new challenge, new pay. The biggest opportunity to raise my profile. And I performed again. Year on year improvement in salary. But this wasn't where I'd planned to be. I'd split from the traditional path and used my experience and my skills to get ahead. But I had one more jump to make. 3 years later, I moved again. That was my biggest challenge yet. Money. And enough to invest in the home we wanted to start a family in. But still something wasn't right. You see, I've spent most of my entire adult life chasing something. Achievement, security, progress, growth. The next goal, the next milestone, the next version of life. And for a long time, I thought that was responsibility. I thought that was what we did. And as we prepared to welcome our eldest, that job gave me the security to feel like this was the place I needed to be in. The thing is, you work, you provide, you sacrifice, you build. And one day, everyone benefits. But fatherhood taught me something really uncomfortable. Children don't live in one day, they live in today. They live in the right now, not distracted by the pressure, the chaos, the responsibility, just living for the moment. And fatherhood, well, it gives us a wake-up call so big that we struggle to adapt. We rely on what worked. We don't flex, and we don't try to find a new source of motivation, a new rhythm, a new approach to work, life, children, achievement, and security. What I chased wasn't just success, though. It was value and contribution. And as a new dad, these are thrust to the forefront of your thinking. How do I add more value? How do I contribute more? How do I meet the basic needs of my family, my partner, my kids, and myself? It's this thinking that creates conflict, uneasiness, and if I'm honest, unnecessary pressure to deliver on all fronts, not just the one you've delivered on before your kids arrived. So I grew up believing success mattered, not because anyone forced it upon me, but because it represented something. Security, stability, opportunity, a better future. At the time, university mattered, career mattered, building something mattered. And I understand why. As you grow up, you naturally want more. More security, more certainty, more comfort, more options. And then you become a father. And suddenly you're carrying two competing truths. The future matters, but so does today. And this is where we find ourselves. I want to work to provide and deliver a better future. But at the same time, well, I can't sacrifice what's important. The little moments, the games, the laughter, the joy. Fatherhood is game-changing. If you're prepared for the seismic shift in the world around you, then you get to prioritize what's important. Because one thing doesn't have to be in conflict with the other. But you can't decide what's important without first reflecting on these things. Who you are, who you want to be, what role you want to play, and what impact and influence you want to have on those you love the most. You see, you can do both. You can still chase success, achievement, growth, opportunities, but your pursuit of these things, well, it's got to be deeply rooted in what's important and why that thing is important. So the questions I have for you today, well, they're pretty simple. Do you know what's most important to you? Are you clear on the influence you're having on them? Are you making time to give them what they need? Because they are living in the moment, in today, not tomorrow, right now. So a clear line of sight on the things that meet their basic needs and then delivering on them, that's what you need to do. That's where your focus needs to be. That's value and contribution right there. And it's achieved through clarity, boundaries, expectations, not with them, but with the world outside. You can have and continue to chase success. Because outside of the home, you're working for something, you're chasing something. You want to feel like you're part of something. And that's okay. It's critical that we as a society do not dilute the importance of chasing something and feeling like you've accomplished it. It's crucial that you and I are afforded the opportunity to deliver on both fronts, to feel connected with our children, to have a personal sense of pride in what we've accomplished, to feel less conflicted, less stressed, less overwhelmed, and under pressure to deliver on everything at any given moment. So I want you to picture your child at 25. They're sitting with a friend and they're talking about you. What story are they telling? Are they describing what you built or how it felt to grow up around you? Are they talking about you as a distant figure or the man that made time to play, to connect, to have a conversation? This week, I want you to pause, take stock and evaluate the world around you and then answer this. How much is enough? Not money, not status, not achievement. Enough. At what point do you stop chasing and start experiencing? At what point do you stop building and start being? At what point does the future stop stealing from today? And then here's the difficult one. Who decided success looked like this in the first place? Was it you or the people who came before you? You see, the greatest threat to fatherhood is not failure, it's distraction. Because distracted dads rarely realise they're distracted, but their children feel it. And that feeling, well, it erodes the connection between dad and child. It builds layer upon layer of missed opportunity, missed chances to play, to laugh, to sing, to dance, to let go. So let's be real for a minute. You're the man you are today because someone shaped and influenced the man you were working to become. That someone has had a profound effect on how you prioritize what's important, how you feel fulfilled, how you process stress, strain, overload, how you evaluate your performance as a dad and as a man, how comfortable you feel with your progress, what empowers you, what influences how you show up in their world. Look, I nearly learned this lesson the hard way. It wasn't because I didn't love my family. It was because I convinced myself I was doing everything for them. Every hour, every sacrifice, every late night, every stressful moment, every piece of pressure. It was all justified because it was for them until it wasn't. Until I realized something. The people closest to me, they didn't need more effort. They needed more of me. They needed my time, my smile, my voice, my patience, my connection. To be clear, effort and needing me are not the same thing. So let that sit for a minute. Because most of us confuse effort with love, work with love, provision with love, pressure with love. But love feels different. Love feels present. Love feels calm. Love feels available. Love feels like someone is actually in that room with you. Love feels like that person values what you're saying, and love feels like that person is listening to what's being said. You see, the thing I nearly lost, it wasn't money. It wasn't a career, not status. It was peace. It was laughter. It was connection. It was the ability to sit on the floor and simply enjoy my boys without thinking about what needed doing next. It was my relationship, my health, my ability to switch off, my ability to fall asleep. My ability to set boundaries between work and home. You see, this was the version of me my family deserved. But here's what scares me most. I didn't realize I was losing it while it was happening. I didn't see the divide. I didn't see the hurt. I didn't hear what they needed in the moments when they needed me most. I didn't feel connected. Honestly, I felt lost, alone, frustrated, hurt, conflicted. I felt like I was failing them and delivering for everyone else. Today, I see success differently. Success isn't something waiting for me in the future. Success is being fully present in a moment I know I'm never going to get back. Success is hearing a story I've heard 10 times before. Success is sitting still. It's watching them play. It's playing the game. It's reading stories. It's building forts. It's water fights in the garden. Success is putting the phone down. Success is laughing even when there's work to do. Success is choosing connection when productivity is calling. Success is picking them up from school. Success is sitting still and giving them my undivided attention. Because one day, the work will end. The targets will change. The pressure will move somewhere else. But childhood doesn't wait. And that's why today is more important than ever. We have a finite amount of time to shape who they become. We have a finite amount of time to influence the way they see themselves and the world. Don't be too busy, too distracted, too focused on the result. Don't chase success when you're not clear on the outcome and you haven't connected it to what matters. Don't sacrifice their childhood. The jobs will change, the targets too. Your boss will change. But what changes faster than anything else? Your children, what they love, enjoy, what makes them smile, what piques their creativity and intrigue. What matters most isn't what you earn or your job title. It's whether you're there in the room and ready to play, listen and laugh. Today your children, they don't care what you earned. In the future, they will be grateful for the opportunities, your hard work created. But what they'll remember most, well, is what got your attention. So this weekend, take a load off. Shut down the distraction, get outside, close the apps, the TV, the games console, and do something that you'll all enjoy. This weekend, you've got one simple objective: to reset the image of dad and to create one memory that'll leave them wanting more. Your willingness to distract and be distracted is dissolving your connection. Don't miss this opportunity to steal back the greatest time in your children's life. Look, we're all chasing something, and that's okay. But can I leave you with this one question? If success arrived tomorrow, would it actually change how you live, or would you simply move the goalposts again? Because the most dangerous thing about ambition isn't that it makes you work harder, it's that it can convince you that life starts later. And later is where too many of us lose everything. Look, and as we finish up, I'd love you to answer this. Are you building a future for your family whilst missing the family you're supposedly building it for? Because the answer to that question, well, it's the real truth. The moment you see what you've missed and decide to focus on making the most of now. Thank you. I'm here because I lost sight of what was important and it almost cost me everything. But that challenging time, it taught me about duty. It taught me to live aligned to the things that matter and to never overlook the small stuff and my impact on their world. I've made mistakes. I've missed plenty of moments, but I will not let them define me. Because you need to remember this. Your kids don't need a dad who's got it all figured out. They just need a dad who's willing to look in the mirror and keep becoming. So if you're here, if you're scrolling between pressure and exhaustion, this podcast is for you and you're in the right place. Because this is where we talk about what matters. This is where you answer the questions that are silently keeping you up at night. This is where you can get to the truth. Not just about what it means to be a dad, but what it takes to become the father they never forget. As always, write your answers down to the questions and dive into the detail. Create something so powerful and unique that you cannot wake up and not move toward it. Remember, you're working to create the version of dad that they need to see. Because if you get it right, they'll live how you lived, love how you loved, listen how you listened, prioritize the way that you did, and show up in the lives of those they love, just like you. And this is the role of the modern dad: stability, strength, passion, perseverance, pride, and above everything, love. All right, well, that's today's question. You've just spent a few minutes doing what most of us avoid: slowing down, being honest, and looking at how you're really showing up. And my friend, that matters more than you know. If this episode landed for you, subscribe to the podcast, and if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe there too, so you don't miss any of our future episodes. And if you haven't yet, join us at themodernfatherhoodclub.com. There you're going to find free resources and reflection questions, the ultimate new dad toolkit, and the new dad recharge course for those of you ready to realign your energy and your priorities. And you're also going to find details of our upcoming antenatal course for new and expecting dads. Look, I'm not perfect, neither are you, but we're committed. We're committed to leading with confidence, strength, openness, and heart. Committed to giving our kids the version of us that's present, not just productive. Thank you for listening, for reflecting, and for doing the work. This is the Modern Fatherhood Club. This is Answer Me This, part of the Fatherhood in Focus podcast. Lead from the front and never underestimate the power you have over who they become. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.